Little trains in a big world, moving slow, chugging through valleys where no winds blow. Painted hills and plastic trees, quiet whispers of old memories. Little trains, little dreams, rolling softly through the seams. Tiny tracks in a giant land, guided gently by a steady hand. Accurately built with a craftsman's care, tiny bridges hanging in.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Mank Lucy's Goes Miniature. Now this one's a bit because I'm trying to charge the camera up at the same time as film, and there's a lot of scenery in the way and what have you. I think that will work the best, like that. So this section of the layout has been a bane of my life. So Shaun worked on it quite a bit in the last time he was here, which we didn't film an episode really whilst he was here. And although we've improved it, it just still ain't right. So I'm going to cut it all out again and start again. And hopefully, but the other things that's going is I'm going to get rid of this bridge, this footpath coming up here. So this is just going to be replaced with a road that goes off like that, because this church scene here sits on there like that. So then that's the end of that board. So then we'll make this board come out, go into this bit of greenery that's just off camera here, and then that can just go off, and then it matches up a little bit because that's the other leg for it. So this is where the fun's going to be. I might keep that retaining wall, but first of all we need to start off like slowly stripping this out, because there's going to be a tunnel mouth here, but obviously it'll be, so we could keep the front of this. If the front of this will stay in place, then we could keep the front of it, and that can be our tunnel mouth. But obviously I could do with getting down in there, so it's going to be more of a careful cut out this than it is disruption. Like I said, I want to keep some of it. Right, see, so we could keep that coming up. I'm going to leave that alone for now, and we'll look into that a bit further on. I'm going to get rid of some of this tunnel mouth. Because I've seen ways of putting a tunnel mouth in after the cause, so getting rid of it, as long as it leaves the original part in place. Get rid of that. See, that's only a bit of paper. Oh, that is. Right, and then we're going to cut down there. Just broke a bit more of that. Right, that's off. God, look at the dust down here. Cut that side off. Pretty much. Right, so that gives me, as you can see, the boards don't meet, and that's just the way these are. So this is just, but it's a tunnel anyway, so it ain't going to be ballasted. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is the trains run smoothly over it, which they don't at the moment. And if I grab my little coach, my little test coach runs alright, but you see there's it's a bit, how are you doing? And then the other line is just as bad, because this sits up and it's quite tight, so we need to just rethink pretty much all of this area. Now I put that piece in, that piece is knackered. Now one of the disadvantages is I don't actually have a pair of pliers here. So a pair of pliers isn't something I've actually got. Now you see, that makes that much better already. But here, there's such a slope on one side, it just isn't possible. And it's such a small bit of line where if I extend that and make that one, that might work. I think the other line is just maybe too long, which we knew when we put it in, if we're honest, that it was too long and we made it fit. But that's made it so there's a bow in the track. See, that come out far too easily. See how easily that came out? Didn't have to desolder it, didn't have to do anything to it, it just came out. So that wasn't in very well. Get rid of that. There, like so. Oh, we've got a track pin here as well. Which might have been the reason it was sitting up, to be honest, because that track pin doesn't line up with any hole that was there. So that might have been the reason why it was sitting up in the first place. I'm warming up my board because the soldering iron's on. That's that nearly off. That'll no doubt be melted the fuck out of when I do it. Right, well that's now sitting flush, which is better. Much better. Right, so then the last piece is this little piece here, which is soldered in. But what we'll do is we'll just cut it out. Turns out the solder is quite bloody tough, but not tough enough. See how easy that came off? So it wasn't the best of connections. Right. I've just broke my blade. I hope I've got another one. Should have. Right, so that is a good connection there. I think these are just sat on the boards. I don't think they're on cork or nothing like that. Right. Bloody filthy. Right. So we should be able to get a track piece from there to there nicely, and then that should, because that is actually a smooth gap. It is just a gap, and then that should. The difference that you can tell between FlexiTrack and normal track is FlexiTrack doesn't have these. The end is just them. They don't have that piece. So that's why a lot of people like FlexiTrack, because it's a little bit more realistic. For our purposes, it doesn't really matter. It's in a tunnel. So I think we stick that on there, and then line it round to like there, and I need like, yeah, that's a nice curve there. Yeah, so it is possible. We're gonna cut it there. We'll cut it about there, and then, well, I'll cut it a bit longer, that be, and then that we can trim it from there. Right, so that's this piece ready. We now just need to make sure that it will fit in here, and I think the easiest way to do that is probably to start by soldering that onto there first, making that reach, and then bend it round, cut it and attach it onto there. I think that's the wisest solution, because as you can see, that side, that rail needs to be made a bit longer than this one. That does it. There we go. Yep, so that'll be a good connection. That's so. Some solder. Now Shaun has used solder on that, so it should melt nice and easily. Anyway, so it's just a case of getting it onto the other track, and we still have the issue of clearance on this side due to the bridge. But the clearance isn't as bad as it was. So I think it's going to be the case of putting them roughly together. Get as much solder as possible in the area. And then get them at least tacked together. And like we have been doing, once they're tacked, we can play about at getting them perfect. I mean, that, to be fair, really isn't actually far off. Right, so a bit of sanding, that should be fine. But right, let's just grab the coach. So we can see there is, on that side, so there is a bit of a hill. So if I line down. Ah, that's hot. That's about right there. Let it set. Let it go. Let it go. Well, let it set. Let it set. How's that now? Oh, look at that. You wouldn't even know there's a connection there. That's how smooth that is. So that is pretty damn good. Right. In theory, yeah, that is perfect actually. Yeah, that is absolute perfection. And it's pretty much staying there. Oh, I've set fire. Yeah. It's alright, I've only set fire to the railway. I'm burning the wood. Oh, just got it. You know, because the heat that the soldering gives off burns your fingers as you're doing it. Not much of that heat makes it to the tip. I'm just trying to untangle the wire. Right, I think that has just mated. So now it's the tricky side because the outer one does sit up a little bit. But I think that's more Sleeper's arrangement that's doing that. Yeah. Probably get that to sit down. What's a burn a few sleepers? It's connected, but I'm not happy with it. There's a bit of a bump. And the bump's the solder. Right, let me just try that. That one's perfect. Oh, you wouldn't even know. Yeah, you wouldn't even know. So with that one done, put the coach in there. Not melt the railway this time. I think we'll go and get the Class 37 or the 66. Run that over now and just see if that has resolved the problem. Like that height difference, we can sort that out. That 66 is coming. Perfect. '66 has a power problem at the moment. I think the wheels need cleaning. Yeah. Flawless. Right, let me stick some carriages on it and we'll see if it still works after that. One rail done. So I think this one's okay. I think what actually needs to happen here is this one actually just needs cutting back. I think that's what's actually just needed here. So let me turn the track power off. Yeah. My side off. Right, so that's that piece out. So let's put another piece in. Right, so this is our initial starting piece. So I think the same sort of principle. This is stiff flexi as well, which is, I don't know why some of it's stiff and some of it's not, but that is level on this side. So we need to start off with a level piece like that in there, like so. So let's get this in the best we can. Don't know if that is a good connection or not. We're about to find out. These are all connected. So, not bad. Not bad. I think that's worth a test. We'll give that a go. I'm getting better. I'm getting better considering my shite soldering iron. That's smoother, that'll work, not a problem. We just need to work on getting that bit smooth. It's good that all the problems with this layout is focused in one area. It's not perfect, but it'll run. Just areas to sort out. So I think we can unplug the soldering iron now and get rid of the really hot instrument that's up in the loft. Over there. Where's the... So I'm going to work on getting this running better, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining as we fix this section. That is so much better than what was there. Yeah, we have a few things to work out, but it'll run for now. When we do this point, we'll sort it all out properly. This point is the bane of the life at the moment. So I'm going to get tidied up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for choosing to watch Mancbus's Goes Miniature and this little miniature railway. And I'm going to just try and sort out some of these little bugbears and see if we can get it running a little bit better.
Little trains in a big world, moving slow, chugging through valleys where no winds blow. Painted hills and plastic trees, quiet whispers of old memories. Little trains, little dreams, rolling softly through the seams. Tiny tracks in a giant land, guided gently by a steady hand. Accurately built with a craftsman's care, tiny bridges hanging